Welcome to this week's SV Lynx video. Well, this is going to be a momentous week for us. We are finally going to be finished fairing and sanding both hulls. So, work on the boat will be coming much faster now, so it's going to be very exciting and moving along as we get to other projects on the boat.
Right. So coming up really soon, there's going to be big changes as we start to assemble the whole thing. So this really is a major milestone that we're reaching here. So we're excited to get past it and get on to those other things. But although we're going to go over the lot, we're going to show you what we're doing on the final port hull. I don't want to spend forever on that in this video because we've done a lot of fairing and sanding, excuse me. And we have some other things going on as well, so I thought we'd talk about that. And one of those things is that one of our sponsors, Goiot, we have a major order with them. And we've been working on that with them, and we have the exact list of what parts are being shipped and what custom pieces are being made, and all that's going to be coming. So I thought that instead of all fairing and sanding, that we'd go over our Goiot order and let you see all of the different parts that we're receiving from that from France. So let's go ahead and pop over to the lot first, and then we're going to pop back here. And after we've showed you what we're doing over there, then we're going to talk a little bit about Goiot over here, and also where and such that we're going to be putting all of these different parts onto SV Lynx. But let's go take a look at the lot. It's Monday, and we've already sanded the first half of this, and well, actually it's Tuesday, sorry. And we're now getting it back. You can see all the trowel ridges that we are working there. So we're going to work it back today to the stern to make it look as nice as this side, which we have already done. So this one's pretty far along now, and we no longer have any of those spots that come through to the basalt anywhere. As you can see by the sky up there, it's a gloomy day in Southern California, and it is going to rain, but not today and not tomorrow. It's going to rain a little bit in the morning 2 days from now. So we're perfectly good, even though it's gloomy, to get some fairing compound on this hull. And we're going to get this one as nice as we got the other side today, so that we can get this thing finished up. So all these yellow parts that are low because they're not getting sanded, they're a little bit low. And these parts where the basalt is almost all the way through, there's another one here. We're going to get a layer on here today, and we want to get this thing finished. And I keep saying that, but we're working at it, and we've already got the other side sanded pretty well. So we're going to get the epoxy on today here, and then come maybe Monday we'll get this sanded. Other good news is we've got that shipping container sold this morning. So it's going to be, after we get this epoxy on and sanded, it's going to become a priority. We got to get all the stuff that's in it out and all the solar panels off the top, because in the next week it's going to be out of here, and we're going to be putting it all back into the trailer we already purchased that will take its place. So that's what we're doing right now, and I'll show you a little bit of the application of our fairing compound, but not too much because you've seen that a million times. So just a little. All right, to start with, because the front of the boat is oddly shaped, I'm going to be using the small trowel here. As I move back to the more even size, I'll move to the large trowel, which will have fewer trowel lines for us to have to sand that way. Good. That went on really smoothly and nice. If they were all like that, I'd be very happy. Just letting Brian know about the mix he just gave me. Batch number 2 going here. Well, it's been about 45 minutes since I started. You can see how much nicer this is going to look because it's really covering well all of those dark spots there. Back here you can also see where I haven't got to yet how much different it looks. So this should get us to a final sand on this. So it's coming along well, but it's going to take us another probably 2 to 3 hours to get all the way down to the other end here. So keep going. A short time for you and a couple hours for me and Brian over there mixing. But we got it all the way to the end now. All set. So I'll let this baby set up, and then a couple days from now we'll start doing the final sand. Well, we showed you the shipping container coming in, and now it's going back out again to a new home. Now, fortunately for us, the trailer that the guy who bought it brought over couldn't pull it out of here, but our friends at B&M Towing right here, which is located right there, came to the rescue, and we're good friends with them. Yes, so when he lifts, we'll pull those out. Good thing we did that. C'est la vie, shipping container. You were great while you lasted. On to do and more exciting things. It was supposed to rain a little bit, so we've covered both hulls. It didn't, but we covered them just in case. And with that 20-foot shipping container out, the next thing up is going to be to take out that 40-foot. So we really got our work cut out for us over the next 2 weeks, because we have to get these hulls finished. That means this one sanded, then the barrier coat put on, and then the copper coat put on both hulls so that we can flip them over, put them on their cradles, move them over here so that we can get the shipping container out. So that's a lot of work on these 2 hulls that's got to get done within the next 2 weeks. Plus, we've got to empty the entire shipping container, and we've got to pull all of the solar panels off the top. So we've got a ton of work that we have to get accomplished. And in case we haven't done enough sanding, and in case you haven't seen enough sanding, this morning and tomorrow and Wednesday, we're going to be sanding this hull. So it's going to be a lot of sanding. We won't bore you with too much of that, but we'll find some other subjects to talk about, because we got some other things happening, and we'll go over those with you as well. But that's the work that's going to get done, and it's really important that it gets done this week. So we have to be hard at that so that we can get to the, as I mentioned, barrier coat and then copper coat. So off we go with some sanding. Well, I started sanding from the bow here. And this is coming out beautifully. And so this will be the last coat of epoxy on here. It's just coming out perfect. So very happy. On we go.
We've got halfway down the other side of the boat, which was our goal for today. And Brian's been using the oscillating sander on here. And then I'm following up a little bit with the larger curved flexus sander to make sure we've got the shape good. And it looks really nice. So Brian's done a great job, and this is barely doing anything extra. So it's coming out wonderfully. I'm very happy. That means we're going to get that barrier coat on this week.
All right, if you're not tired of sanding, I most certainly am. That was so much work getting that port hull. Obviously the starboard one went much better because we had the knowledge of what we were doing, but we finally have gotten that port hull beautiful, and it's going to be certainly ready to put our barrier coat and copper coat on in the next video. So we'll get to that. But as promised, we want to talk a little bit about Goiot.
Yes, and Goiot Systems is a manufacturer of many different boat items. And since they're a sponsor of ours, we're going to purchase quite a few items from them. But let's begin by looking at hatches.
Right, so here we have the design of our boat, and this was created by Schoening Designs. And it shows all in blue. Well, most of them are in blue, some are in purple there, the hatches. And most of the ones you're seeing in this image are the ones that we are going to be ordering from Goiot. So let's take a look at specifically which hatches and why we chose the ones we chose for each location on the boat. Here you can see the custom-sized sliding door we ordered from Goiot. It has a frame and a door and is mounted on the outside of bulkhead number 6. We'll need to modify the seating at the back of the cockpit table area to fit that slider frame. When the slider is open, it recesses behind bulkhead number 6 and the stairs that go up to the helm.
Goiot is also creating a custom flip-up window that goes between the tables in the salon and cockpit to allow airflow and conversation through. It'll attach to the roof of the cockpit above that table when open.
For our deck hatches, we chose to go with their new Magic Flush hatches. On the outside, the black hinges and winch handles are completely flush with the hatch, hence the name. And on the inside, Goiot has some innovative integrated friction hinges, which means we don't have to deal with adjustable open stays. On the T60 size hatches, which we are ordering, they come equipped with discrete gas struts to assist the opening. This makes the view through the acrylic better and the opening of the hatches easier.
Finally, the Magic Flush handles incorporated a patented locking system when the handle is pushed, and they have a ventilation position, which means they can allow some airflow while still being locked.
Yeah, that's really nice because we can get some airflow even though those windows are locked. That way, if we're away from the boat and we don't want to completely button it up, we can do so. The 4 T60 Magic Flush hatches, one for each cabin, are 577 millimeters square, or nearly 23 inches square. So they're a nice large opening to allow someone to climb out of the cabin if necessary, and will add plenty of ventilation to those cabins. They also come with privacy covers and screens.
We chose to go with their new Lux Air hatch line for the salon windows. These have a frameless design, so they allow much more light and good viewing, along with excellent ventilation. They open outwards, which we prefer in the salon, so condensation doesn't drip off inside. They also use the same magic handles as the magic flush hatches. They have removable exterior handles for a nice flush look and friction hinges.
The 4 Luxair hatches in the forward salon window will be pre-mounted for us from the factory into the glazings that Goiot is custom cutting for SV Lynx. These 4 Luxair hatches are 598 millimeters by 488 millimeters, or about 23.5 inches wide by 19 inches tall. So 4 will add a lot of ventilation to the salon, and when the slider and flip-up window are open, that air will flow on into the cockpit.
We also added 2 smaller Lux Air hatches to the side windows in the salon, one by the cooking area in the galley and one over by the main table. This will allow some cross breeze when we're in a situation where wind isn't coming from the bow, which will happen on occasion if we're anchored in a fixed position with a bow and stern anchor.
While on the subject of ventilation, let's go over which port lights we opted for from Goiot. All total, we're adding 14 port lights to SV Lynx. We want plenty of ventilation down in the hulls. Let's start with the cabins. Besides the large magic flush hatch in the ceiling, each cabin also has a large TO4 opal port light in the side glazing. Opal port lights use a very nice closing system that has an ergonomic handle which can be opened with one hand. The handle also evens out the pressure all around the seal and thus guarantees excellent water tightness. Since the TO4 is 649 millimeters long by 193 millimeters tall, which is 25.5 inches by 7.6 inches, they use 2 of these easy-to-operate handles. The 2 stern cabins have the ceiling hatch offset inboard, which may cut down some on the flow into the cabins, so we added 2 more port lights to the stern of the cabin to facilitate airflow from the forward port light and the ceiling hatch. Each cabin has an additional TO4 and a TO1 port light at the stern. The larger TO4 is set between 2 of the steps up to the deck level, while the TO1 is cut into the glazing window at the stern of the cabin, as you can see right here. Each of the 4 heads in the boat also have their own port light for ventilation using a TO1, and the 2 showers each have a TO3 port light up higher next to the daggerboard for letting out steam and airing out those spaces.
And all of the opal hatches come with screens. The final 2 Goiot hatches in SV Lynx are these escape hatches that are located under the lift upstairs that go up from the hulls into the salon. We went with Goyot's Secure All model of escape hatches, which were explicitly designed for multi-hulls. Well, that's it for various hatches and port lights, 27 in all.
But windows, hatches, doors, and port lights are not all we ordered from Goiot. We also chose to purchase their Sport-All stanchion system. These are their model 30 pole with 3 wires and 2 stanchions to create an opening when needed for side dock access. These are their 29.5 inch tall, though they will actually be slightly higher than that due to the way we are custom making the stanchion bases they insert into on SV Lynx. At the bow, we ordered these pulpit seats, also from the Sport-All line. The stanchion layout on SV Lynx is going to be similar to this Outremer, which also uses Goiot stanchions, though we will have the pulpit seats up at the bow.
For our steering, we chose to go with the Goiot Tri-Act wheel 840 seen here. Along with that, we ordered Goyot's Sport-All bulkhead hub with brake.
For cleats on SV Lynx, we also chose to stick with the anodized Sport-All line, ordering 6 of the 330 millimeter or 13 inch length and 4 of the 260 millimeter or 10 inch length cleats with their larger M10 anchorages.
For handrails, we also went with 7 of the Sport-All line. These will help in some strategic locations when a grip is needed. However, we should note that we're adding a built-in grip all the way around the cabin top roof of the rain catchment system, so separate handrails aren't needed there.
All but one glazing on the boat are being custom cut by Goiot for SV Lynx, and, as mentioned, the forward and side glazings will already have their Luxair hatches pre-mounted.
That brings us to the emergency steering system on SV Lynx. We already have the mechanism as part of what we purchased from Schoening Designs for our kick-up rudders, but we ordered the emergency tiller from Goiot.
So, the final items from our Goiot order are 6 deck filler ports with 4 keys to fit them. 2 are for water, 2 for waste, and 2 for diesel.
So as you can see, this was a major order from Goiot. And if you're ordering through Schoening Designs, you get a very good discount from Goiot. So we recommend you do that if you're ordering your kit from Schoening.
Since we helped design the Solitaire 1520, besides a discount, Goiot was kind enough to sponsor the build of SV Lynx, so we also got some free custom work done. So we really want to thank the Goiot team for choosing to sponsor us. But don't forget, even though the design of SV Lynx was something we collaborated on to create this new Catamaran model, it is available for sale as a kit to anyone. In fact, there are other 1520s being built as we speak. One in Australia will even be done before ours, since they have a larger team of professionals building her. That is starting to help us as we get to see how they put together their 1520. They aren't doing YouTube weekly videos of the build, so you'll have to muddle along with our videos to see the construction of a 1520. But they're helping us with lots of information, which will make our build go a bit easier, so thanks to them for the assistance. Now, if you're interested in building a Solitaire 1520, please drop me an email and I will give you all the information I have about doing that, and even some possible places where you could get one built if you don't want to do it yourself. So you can find a way to contact us through the website at www.svlinks.com, and there's a contact page there. All right, so that's what we're ordering from Goiot Systems, and we're very excited about the high quality of the things we're getting from them. And the thing is, though, we don't need a lot of these for quite some time. We've still got to assemble the boat, and that's going to get started soon, but it's still going to take months. So why is this order so important to us right now? It's a couple of reasons. One is we need some of these things as we build the boat. For example, we have to do some custom work on the table in the cockpit area to fit the slider in. And so there's some reasons we need these things, but not really soon. The reason we're so interested in getting this ordered and coming is because of the delays in shipping that are happening right now in the Panama Canal. There's a serious drought, and there aren't letting as many ships through, and only smaller ships, and prices are going up. And we just don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if our shipment's going to go through the Panama Canal, or if we're going to ship it to the East Coast and bring it over by rail to the West Coast. So we best get this coming. So I've been working with Goiot. I just spoke with them this morning. And they're working on our whole order right now, and they'll get it out as soon as they possibly can, because there's a lot of custom work they have to do for our boat. So many, they aren't just off-the-shelf items. So custom cut, custom measured. So lots of work for them.
So next week over at the lot, our goal is to get that port hull all finished up and get the barrier coat on it and get it ready for copper coat. So that's going to be a bit of work, but we'll get it done. So we want to thank you all so very much for watching us. Thank you especially to all of our patrons for watching and supporting us. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click on the bell icon to be notified of our next video, and we'll see you all next week.
For absolutely no fairing and sanding.
Yes.
See you then.
Bye.